Hey guys, welcome back. Today is day 24. I messed up yesterday on yesterday's video. I said it was day 23. It doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna watch this. Who cares? Maybe they will. I don't know. But right now nobody's watching it, so I guess that makes it a little easier to make these because nobody's really watching it anyway. But today, well, first off, let me just tell you what I'm doing. I'm doing this video series. It's a 30-day challenge, and I'm trying to put into action some of the thoughts that I've had for years. So if you've ever had thoughts about starting a YouTube channel or whatever, I'm actually doing it just to see what happens, see what I can learn from it, see where I can go with it. So if you're interested in that, you can follow along on my progress here. I'm going to keep going. I've kind of dedicated these first 30 days to making a video every day. After the 30 days, I'll come back and see if I really want to continue doing every day, if I want to make it every couple days or every 3 days or every week, whatever. But I'm going to figure that out as I go. So that's part of the process of this, part of the idea of this, behind this, is figuring things out as I go and seeing what works and what doesn't. I'm gonna have no idea what works for the first 30 days, probably the first 90 days, at least, maybe the first even year. I don't know, because I don't know how many people are gonna actually subscribe and what I can figure out, like what's working or whatever. But today I was thinking about the meaning of life, the meaning of things in your life, and kind of applying it to starting this YouTube channel. So a lot of it has to do with what you're capable of doing or what you think you're capable of doing. And I think everybody's a lot more capable than what we realize in our own lives. We always compare others and look at others and say, that guy can do that, but I can't. And that may be true in certain circumstances. I mean, there's exceptions to that rule, but what we focus on more, I think, is limiting ourselves to not being able to do much at all. So if you have limiting beliefs on what you can accomplish, and I guess what I'm trying to say is if you think about what you can't do instead of what you can do, you're never gonna be able to do anything. There's a lot of self disbelief, or even if it's external sources, other people telling you can't do that. So we need to reframe our mindset on that. A lot of people have told me I can't do things my whole life, and you know, you're set up by your external circumstances for sure, but you can overcome those with your own. There's ways to get past that. I mean, there's numerous stories of people that have had hardships in their lives, had bad situations. They've come from bad homes or have had addictions or whatever, but they've overcome those things just because they started to believe differently or they thought differently. And if you think that all you can do is fail, that's all you're going to do. So instead of, kind of shutting your brain off and saying, you know, this isn't possible for me, doing that thing is not possible for me, I can't do that. Instead of saying that, you can't, just shutting your brain off from thinking altogether. Try an exercise where you say, well, how would I be able to do that? How can I do that? And that'll change your brain. To keep it from turning off, it'll help you to think better on how can I get that achieved? How can I do that? And it starts to get your brain working, and it's an interesting exercise if you try it. So next time you have something that you think, oh, I can't do that, get it in your head to where you say, oh, well, how could I do that? And you'll start to see how your mind works a little differently in that circumstance. So you'll start to, if you can start to make your brain think in a different way of how can I achieve that, then you'll start to see that there's actually steps to getting something done, and you'll start to believe in that thing first. So having the information is the first step, and then believing that information is true is the second step, and then putting something into action would be the actual third step that would start the ball rolling. Now you may not be able to achieve that thing the first time, but you're doing an action now that will put it in motion to where the next action will be able to be accomplished, and then the next, and then the next, until you reach that ultimate goal of what you wanted to do. So little goals, setting little goals, and this goes back to goal setting. Having a big goal is great, but you need to, if it's too big to accomplish in one go, you need to break that down into smaller goals, and that'll help you to get through the big goal. But all that aside, if you don't have the mindset to begin with to be able to accomplish it, you're not going to be able to get it done. So step one would be believe in yourself, or believe that you can achieve it, or ask how you can achieve it and how you can get to that, and then set those smaller action goals to do it after you've figured out something. So knowledge first, then belief, then action. So that process can be really beneficial, I think, to help people get on the right track. And just don't be negative. Whenever you think about being negative, think about, instead of being negative, try to base that negativity into a positive mindset where you can put those small things into a bigger picture and get it accomplished that way. So really, that's kind of all I had today. It's just that I just want to encourage people, the way I'm relating it is back to this YouTube thing. It's difficult for me to see, and this is another good point, I guess. It's difficult for me to see myself successful at YouTube because I'm not there yet. But I do believe that the actions that I can take to get there will, if I step in the right direction, it's not going to hurt me any to keep going with that. And maybe, seeing some traction from that will get me into that final goal. I think I've got enough said for today, so we'll go, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks for listening.